Welcome to another season of WNL Sports Weekly. I'm Jeremy Franklin. On our first show of the new school year, we'll speak with volleyball coach Bryan Snyder, football captain Brandon Taylor, and field hockey captain Candice Stefanic. But first, a quick look back at the weekend in Washington Italy athletics. Men's cross country opened up the season with a second place finish at the Sewanee Invitational. The Generals came in fourth in the women's meet. Men's soccer picked up a 2-1 road win over Catholic, while the women's team defeated Greensboro 7-0. Football dropped its season opener to Averett 20-17. Field hockey wrapped up a long trip through Kentucky and Tennessee with a 2-1 loss to Rhodes and a 4-2 victory over Sewanee. And the volleyball team went 4-0 at the WNL Invitational, scoring wins over Marietta, Birmingham Southern, Southern Virginia, and Maryville. I'm joined now by volleyball coach Bryan Snyder. Bryan, welcome back to the show and congratulations on career win number 400 against SBU.
Oh, thank you very much, Jeremy.
The Generals are now 7-1 on the season. The only loss was a true road match against a ranked Christopher Newport team. How pleased are you with the way that the team has begun the new year?
I've been very pleased so far. I think both weekends we've played progressively better in each match. I think the first weekend at Christopher Newport, we got better each time we went on the court. And then when we came back out this past weekend, I think we maybe slipped back a little, but not back to where we started. And then we got better once again throughout the weekend. And the wins over Birmingham Southern and Maryville were key regional wins, so very pleased with the results there, and I've been very pleased that we've gotten a lot of contributions from a lot of different players. So far so good.
You lost two record-setting senior captains in M.A. Bowles and Megan Molesky. Inevitably, the team's going to look different in 2014. What has changed for the Generals on the court?
I'd say a little bit of everything. Obviously, anyone who knows anything about volleyball knows that the last couple of years we'd run sort of a non-conventional offensive style with only one middle, and we had Megan blocking in the middle and setting. And so this year we've gone back to a more traditional 5-1 offense. We have two middles out there, so we're getting a lot more offense from the middle. So that's one thing I think that stands out right away. I think we're a little bit better of a blocking team this year in the middle and on the right. We're struggling a little bit on the left with our blocking, so it's an area that we need to improve on. But really every year is different, no matter whether you have a lot of the same players back or not, because each year a player gets older, they improve in some areas. Maybe they come back in better condition or worse condition. So every year you always have new challenges, and you try to figure out what your strengths and weaknesses are, and coach to highlight the strengths and then work to bring up the weaknesses.
You talked about getting contributions from all over. There are 19 players on the team this year. How do you handle such a big roster?
It's really not that difficult. It's actually helped us because I really like to run a fast pace of practice. And so we're able to do that this year without worrying about overworking people, because we have enough people for drills to continue to go quickly, for us to do a lot of fast-paced stuff, but everybody can still get rest. The fact that we have 5 middles this year has been huge, because our middles just get worn down so much with the training that we do. So, I think it's difficult from maybe a playing time standpoint, because we obviously can't play 19 players every match. So we just try to make the practices as competitive as possible. Everyone knows that they're going to have opportunities to earn playing time if they work hard in practice and if they produce. And then, probably the other toughest part is trying to get individual sessions in with 19 different players and weekly meetings in with 19 different players. So that takes a lot of time, but it's what I love to do. So the more time I can spend coaching players and coaching the team, and the less time I can spend in my office doing other stuff, that's fine with me.
The Generals head to Bridgewater this weekend. Then you have a 2-week homestand that includes your first 5 ODAC matches of the season. What is the team looking to accomplish during this time?
Well, still we're kind of early in the year. We're just trying to get better. We're trying to be more consistent across the board. I think we have statistical goals that we set for ourselves that we want to achieve in every match. And we went back yesterday and looked at what we did this past weekend, and we hit pretty much each one of our goals at least once, but not all in the same match. So it seems like we're doing something well in one match, something else well in a different match. So it's trying to bring the consistency up of the execution. Obviously, we want to try to get off to a good start in the ODAC. Those matches are very important with the way our tournament format is. We want to get the highest seed possible so we can at least get a home game in the quarterfinals, and if things work out, we can host the semis and the finals as well. So every match is equally important, whether it's in September or November, and so we have to take them all just like they're our championship match of the year, and that's how we're going to approach it, and hopefully we can just keep getting a little bit better each time out on the floor.
Bryan, thanks for joining us. Best of luck this year.
Thanks, Jeremy.
With me now is Brandon Taylor, senior football captain from Dinwiddie, Virginia. Brandon, welcome to the show.
Good to be here.
I know the loss at Averett was a disappointing way to open the season for Washington and Lee. What kind of positives can you pull out of Saturday's game?
There's definitely flashes of the team we can be in that game. I mean, we have one defensive 3 and out, but that series, like that's who we want to be, like defensively pressure-wise. Offense, like our first drive, that's like classic WNL. We like half the first quarter, we control the rock and we drive and score. You know, the speed on the defense was pretty much what we've been seeing all off preseason and what we're working towards. So it wasn't what we wanted, but it's definitely, we're right there. Just little mistakes, like Coach Abel was saying at the end. It's like little mistakes kept us from winning that game. And even as terribly as we played, we still had a chance to win it there. So.
You started strong safety for the Generals. Number 2 on the depth chart is your twin brother. What's it been like to play college football with Joseph?
It's been awesome. It's kind of like we're still like in high school doing the same thing. It's funny. Some of the freshmen like don't know that we're brothers at first. Like one of the first Gray Reams, like it took like till like the 5th practice. He's like, "Wait, you guys are really brothers?" So it's a lot of fun situations. It's really cool. Some guy I've played with my entire life. In terms of playing time, it's kind of weird sometimes because he's like right behind me, but he rolls in at free safety too. So, and he's a really unselfish player. So it's like really selfless. So he's good with that. So.
You've certainly competed alongside some great players during all 4 years here, but how much has the Washington and Lee defense improved as a unit during your time with the program?
I think just physically, we're at a better place than we were. Like even last year, we had a lot of like savvy senior players, but now we have like the speed and the people in positions that can physically do things that we couldn't do last year. Even like the mantra my freshman year was like bend don't break, let the offense run down the clock, score a bunch of points, and we'll win the game. And now it's like if they don't score, we'll win. So I think that right there in a nutshell wraps up how our defense has progressed. My 4 years being here, we're a much more dominant force in the field, and I think we'll continue to do that.
Washington and Lee travels to Sewanee this week, and you didn't face Center in the home opener before your open date and the start of ODAC play. How important are these next 2 weeks for the Generals?
Especially since it's a young team, I think these next 2 weeks will really define how we will progress as the rest of the season goes. So we need to, because after a tough loss like that, whether we bounce back, fight our way up and take 2 big wins, or if we let it slip through the cracks, either way, we'll say a lot about how the season will progress. I mean, I don't have any doubt though. I think we'll pull it through. We're a good group of kids. So.
Brandon, thanks for joining us here. Good luck this year.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm joined now by Candice Stefanic, senior field hockey captain from Berwyn, Pennsylvania. Candice, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
The Generals are coming off a difficult 5-15 season, but you're 4-1 through the first week and a half of the new year. Has the fast start surprised you, or did you anticipate a better start to 2014?
I really don't think we could have anticipated anything better. It's been incredible. Having 4 wins already is just fantastic, and we've already scored, a lot more goals than this point last year. So we're just really hopeful for this season. I think we're gonna completely turn things around, and the start, I think, was definitely reflective of the new team this year. So it's been good.
Offensive production is up, as you suggested. What else is working well for the Generals on the field so far?
Well, definitely, we're scoring a lot more, so that's really good. And defensively, we actually redesigned our defense in the spring. So we're now playing a zone defense instead of man-to-man, which is working a lot better. As a forward, I am not really that involved in defense, but I do know that it's working, and we're getting the ball up in the offensive end a lot more, just getting a lot more opportunities offensively. So I think, it all starts with the defense, obviously. So we're just really gelling as a team. It's been really great, connecting all over the field.
You suffered a very serious injury during the off-season. How satisfying is it for you to be back on the field at the start of the new year?
It's amazing. I feel so grateful that it worked out how it did. I was told right after my accident, there's no way that I would be on the field. So, being able to come back and sort of, proving everyone wrong, like I am tough, and I did make a really quick recovery, was really satisfying, and scored my first goal against Johns Hopkins, and it felt really good, and kind of just officially I was back. So it was really nice.
What does the team need to do to sustain the current level of play throughout the course of a long season?
I think we need to stay focused on our goal. We really want to win ODEX this year, and I think we have a really good fighting chance. Beating Johns Hopkins was incredible. It had never happened in the history of our program, so that was really exciting. And I just think we need to stay focused and keep that fire that we started out with this preseason, and just stay focused on our goal.
Candice, thanks for joining us. Best of luck the rest of the season.
Great. Thank you so much for having me.
It's time now for a look at the upcoming weekend. Volleyball will compete in the Bridgewater Invitational, starting with the Friday afternoon match against Gallaudet. Men's soccer opens up ODAC play Friday night at Guilford. At the Bridgewater Invite on Saturday, volleyball meets North Carolina Wesleyan in the morning and then wraps up play against Averett later in the day. Back in Lexington, the cross-country teams will play host to the John Tucker Invitational this weekend. The women's race begins at 10 a.m. with the men's meet slated to start an hour later. Women's soccer takes on Eastern Mennonite in its ODAC opener, and field hockey will entertain McDaniel. Meanwhile, football travels to Tennessee to face longtime rival Sewanee. And the tennis teams begin their fall schedules this weekend, heading to Fredericksburg for the Mary Washington Kickoff Classic. For WNL Sports Weekly, I'm Jeremy Franklin. Thanks for watching.